Tony. We've been so blessed to get to know you over the past, been under a year, and God has been doing amazing things in your life, and so we're very, very thankful for it. And Tony is evidence that God does work in all of our lives, but in different ways and unique to us, and we ought to thank God for his manifold wisdom in that. So Tony, thank you for sharing.
So, as a kid, I used to love Bible stories and learning about God. I was very passionate about them, but that was back when I lived in Egypt. I moved here when I was 8 years old, so I'm kind of a fraud. But I soon discovered that kids here didn't love God the way Egyptian kids do, and they often ridiculed people for talking about him. So, like at that time, I didn't have any friends and I was lonely, and I had to make a choice whether to stay the way I am or to adapt to my environment. And I kind of gave up on God and I immersed myself in their ways and completely stepped away from a Christian lifestyle. Every few years, I'd have to morph into another character in order to continue being accepted by these people. The cycle continued throughout my years here, and I got accustomed to my sin. I would still come out to Chapel Place retreats, but only to see my friends, and so all the preaching and Bible studies had no effect on me because I had no intention to change. I no longer felt guilty about sin, and so I didn't feel the need for change or a God for that matter. Eventually, I stopped coming here at all. It wasn't until someday in February 2017 that I got a random message from some guy named Richard Luca, and I was a little weirded out because he's just a middle-aged man, and you know, was for an advertisement or a virus or something, I don't know. After a while, I recognized you worked here though, so you're alright. He consistently pestered me to come to the March retreat, and I kind of resisted, but he wouldn't stop, and I was already going through rough stuff, so I decided to come anyways. On that retreat, I came face-to-face with God in one of the prayer sessions for the first time in years. And the years I wasted sinning caught up with me in that moment, and to be honest, I cried because I felt overwhelmed. After consistently renouncing God and running from him, he still pursued me, and that's what really got to me. Shortly after I started coming to church here, and to be honest, I kind of hated it. I saw hypocrisy everywhere and felt alien to Christian culture, that even something like worship seemed absurd to me, like what we just did. I felt like we were all sitting to four walls and no one was really listening. And although I hated it, something kept drawing me back here. After months, my heart started to soften as God revealed himself to me, not only through the pastors and sermons, but through my experiences and interactions with the people of Chapel Place. I wondered how people here were confident through times of struggle, how they were comforted in times of sorrow, and how they held on to hope unswervingly. How people could love me and pray for me and even weep for me, even though they had known me for such a little time. I realized this kind of love can only be from an external source. And I realized that's what I've been missing. The faith of the people of this church truly changed the way I thought about God. And it made me look back at all the times I thought I was so far away from God and I was so beyond healing, but he still looked out for me and loved me before I loved him. Following this, my actions and behavior started to change as God healed the wounds that years of vanity and bitterness had inflicted on me. I'm still changing now, and I'm definitely not a finished product. In fact, I was pretty reluctant about giving my testimony here because I felt like it wouldn't be good enough and I'd be kind of a hypocrite, but God uses broken vessels to do his work, so I thought, you know what, I could do this. I'd like to continue to grow here at Chapel Place because this church committed to me long before I committed to it. I'd like to thank everyone here, from the pastors to the bloggers, for their support and prayers through this journey. A verse that's been helping me through my journey with God is this. It comes from Isaiah 41. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Amen.
So, as you've heard, God is at work.